designated spot right here. You can also have them on the islands as well.
With the dog.
We're gonna poke our heads. No, we're bigger. They get out of the way. That's kind of like the general rule. Yeah. Don't worry, look at out of the way. But yeah, right across the inlet right there is Ponce Beach, and that's a pretty cool little beach down there as well. If you get a chance, check it out. But also at the tip of the island is the dog beach as well. It's the only dog places for beach-wise. Guys, it's a little windy, so just bear with us. We'll pull down here for a quick second, see what's going on, and we'll cruise on through there. Luckily, we have a offshore wind, so the wind is at least blowing out that way. If it was coming onshore right now, you wouldn't have any big splash.
Declan, you okay?
Yeah. Why did you just touch me here?
There's already ocean here. Not lake.
You guys see it's doing right now? Kite surfing. Yeah, just get don't go, you go offshore and jump and get 30 feet in the air. Yeah, he's also a shark right there. Yeah. Alright guys, we're now officially in Ponce Inlet right here. If you want to get out to the Atlantic Ocean, it's right over there. If you do go out to the ocean, you would stick to your channel markers and walk by the red and green buoys along that rock wall jetty right there. Take dredging, nice and deep there for the big boats to get in and out. If you were trying to get out to the ocean by sticking along the Insta side over there, lots of sandbars. You can easily run aground over there. You have to pay attention over there. Now you see that rock wall jetty that extends a whole half mile into the Atlantic Ocean. That's the same rock wall jetty you saw from the very beginning. It actually extends continuously over land. It goes out there. And that's what protects this inlet from those oceanic currents that would normally deposit all kinds of sand into this inlet here. We'd have shifting sandbars on a day-to-day basis if it weren't for these two protective jetties that stick out right here. So, they spend a lot of money on a dredging project. They want to protect that investment with this jetty right here now. So the U.S. Army Corps had plans. They started last season. They're going to do it again this year, but they're re-nourishing that jetty because over the years, some of the hurricanes and storms have blown those big boulders off of that jetty. In fact, it was just over a year ago.
What you doing?
A boat was coming in at high tide. Now at high tide, you used to not be able to see some of the rocks were not exposed out there. They were kind of getting a little too close around the tip and they ran right into the rock wall jetty, caught fire and sunk right there. Luckily, nobody was injured, but Ponce Inlet here is ranked the top 5 most dangerous inlets on the East Coast. They'll lose on average 2 boats per year in here. They sink around the ground. It's probably because someone is trying to take their pontoon boat out or something Now, it's a little windy today, but it's really not busy. If it was a busy day, you'd have a lot of wave action that can get right down. If you're not in the right size boat, you don't want to be going out. You have no business out there. Now, you might think that going from Ponce Inlet to New Smyrna is a quicker swim than a drive, because it's at least a 30-minute drive to go all the way up and around right there. Because we're basically on two peninsulas right here. But I would not recommend trying to kayak or swim across. The current moves here about 15 miles per hour naturally. So there's a strong current moving there. You gotta be careful out there. Now, like I said, we got New Smyrna Beach over there. Raise your hand if you've been to New Smyrna. Said that, yeah. It's a pretty cool little laid-back beach town. A lot of cool restaurants and bars there. You can also drive on the beach over there. But New Smyrna Beach is also infamously known as being the shark bite capital of the world. In fact, they've won that title the last, I think, 18 out of 20 years. They won last year with 11 bites for the year. There were 77 worldwide. Yeah, just around the corner right there. On the oceanic side, lots of sandbars. It creates a constant wave break, so it attracts a lot of surfers because there's always a good surf over there. Also attracts a lot of those fish-eating sharks. We get a lot of blackfish, reef sharks, spinner sharks, shark nose, nurse sharks, some of the smaller ones that aren't these aggressive breeds. Now there's a difference between a shark bite and a shark attack. A shark bite is a mistaken identity. Any shark before it strikes its prey, it actually rolls the eyes back in its head. A few seconds before they strike, they do that instinctually so they don't get poked in the eye. And so in the sometimes murkier water, they see you from a distance, think you're a fish or a crab, They also eat crabs, so think about your feet and all over a surfboard. Might look a little bit like a tasty treat to a shark. Now, these sharks, like I said, they're not out here eating humans. They take a bite, it's not what they want, they let go and they move on their way. Most surfers, if that bite is not so bad, they don't go to the hospital afterwards. They actually go to the bar afterwards.